What is up, guys? It's Bruin Steel, and we are back with WWE broadcasts. I'm your host, Bruin Steel, and we are recapping the pay per view Fastlane 2023, which took place yesterday night. Wow, what a pay per view! It was 5 matches. Unfortunately, I didn't watch the match because I was working, but I know this guy was watching it, so there's a lot to talk about. So Fastlane 2023 took place in Indianapolis, another big city. But anyways, let's get into this awesome night and awesome matches. Um, Roman Reigns, I just gotta say, Roman Reigns, you gotta defend your title, man. What the hell's going on with you? But starting off the payback, we see the new member of WWE. Her name is Jade, and we see her coming in a car and greeting Triple H. So, and I called it. She was gonna make her first appearance at Fastlane. So we have to see what brand that she's gonna be on. But going into the next match, what a great match! This was unexpected. So the Judgment Day. Damian Priest and Finn Balor defending the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship against a surprising team of Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. This was a great match, a great win. Um, this went back and forth until the Judgment Day just hit themselves in the face, and at the end, where J.D. McDonough accidentally hit Damian Priest in the knee with a briefcase, which allowed Cody Rhodes to hit Priest with crossroads on the desk. I think the announce table. Um, Uso and Rhodes hit Finn Balor with a modified 1D, basically, which Rhodes hit the Cody cutter to score the victory. That's right, folks. The Judgment Day collapse and they lose their titles. Wow, in unexpected fashion, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso are your new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. I'm mind blown. I called that Judgment Day was going to retain. I just didn't see this way going anywhere with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Where Cody Rhodes is finishing his story with Roman and Jey Uso, man, he's got his title back. After losing them to Kevin Owens and Sammy, but mind blown, completely shocked. Definitely interested to see where this gonna head. Um, Wow, but yeah, we have new undisputed tag team champions. Yeah, that Judgment Day title reign didn't last long. Big rip to them, but yeah, we have new undisputed WWE tag team champions Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso defeating the Judgment Day off of a Cody cutter to score the victory by pinfall to win the titles. Wow, I at this moment I'm still shocked. Like I said, I'm interested to see what the angle of this is. See what Cody Rhodes is to finish the story with Roman. See what's going on. But I'm gonna give it to Flora. What are your thoughts on this match, and what are your thoughts about Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso getting that huge win, winning the titles?
To win this match against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. That was unexpected. And I was actually expecting when they were about to lose, I was expecting Jimmy Uso to come out and actually interfere in a way to make sure that they lost. So Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso actually lost the Judgment Day. I was expecting the Bloodline to somehow get involved in a way because we just saw them last night, the prior night, form an alliance, but we never saw them actually do anything. They didn't do anything to come out and help them. But I'm guessing the Judgment Day didn't need the help because they already have they have 4 members plus an additional member, which is not actually a part of that. But like you said, they definitely. I really see that the rules allowing it wasn't a an a street fight match. It wasn't like an all hands on deck thing. So it wasn't an unfair match. It wasn't 4 against 2 or 5 against 2. It was just 2 on 2, and the other Judgment Day members couldn't really do anything because they were restricted by the rules. And if they did, it would have cost them the title. So they were walking a tight line, but they lost nonetheless. And you know, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes actually winning was shocking in a sense. I am also wondering how this is going to play into Cody Rhodes' story. Of course, there might be some sort of that makes them a target of the bloodline, obviously, because now they have an opportunity. We're going to see this bloodline feud occur with Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes in some way. So, or I could really see some other team stepping up to them and taking them and challenging them. So,
Yeah, and I do want to mention my prediction for who's going to be the first contender for Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. This is going to be a banger of a match. I think that Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, they're going to be on Raw. First person to come out, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Don't forget, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens saying that they'll be watching this match. Whoever comes out on top, they'll be watching and confronting them and still going after the title. So imagine Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That's gonna be a banger. Obviously, Judgment Day. I don't think they're gonna be done. Look what happened. Dominic Mysterio lost his North American title. Rhea Ripley told him not to come home if he loses. It might happen with the Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Rhea Ripley's gonna confront them on Monday Night Raw, saying that get a rematch if you don't win back the titles. Don't come back. That might happen. Judgment Day might even just win their titles back. I think that's just like I don't know if I'll say it's the best option, but if Cody Rhodes' aim is just to go after Roman, I think it's the best decision to just give Judgment Day back their titles. I don't know, but it is what it is. Another potential
I, I,
challenger is Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. Just to go, Jimmy Uso hasn't like proven himself to Roman yet, so why not just team up with Solo and challenge Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso and win the titles and bring them back to Roman, where Roman will say, all right, you did it. Welcome back to the group or something like that. I don't know. It's just the aim, but I can definitely see Solo and Jimmy going after the titles and trying to Jimmy trying to prove him wrong and trying to prove him back to the bloodline to Roman, which Roman returns next week. So that's just potential challenger plus the Street Profits too. So
oh yeah, definitely. That's another option. That if we see Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits going after them, that would be interesting. Of course, we can't also forget the Viking Raiders. We can't also forget, well, there's the New Day, but the New Day and the Viking Raiders are feuding right now.
oh my god.
But of course, we have that angle. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I could see that happening. Yeah, that could happen. At the same time, yeah, the Judgment Day is still the viable threat. Of course, the Judgment Day could definitely want their titles back. They could go after them, and of course, they're not going to show any mercy towards those two. I can see, like I mentioned before in my previous this video, that Cody Rhodes can definitely finish the story going after Roman because he's the tag team champion, and so we can have Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, and Cody going after Roman and winning against Roman. Now, if Cody does that, that would make him a super champion. So he's a tag team champion, and he's the undisputed, champion basically. Like I mentioned, but that would be a crazy storyline if that actually happens. But I'm not going to see that actually happening though, because you
All
know,
right. The next match is the LWO versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Obviously, Rey Mysterio couldn't get a third man because both men were injured, so they were stuck in a 3-on-2 situation in this match. Basically, this Lashley and Profits were controlling most of this match on Santos Escobar, and then Mysterio was trying to keep up, but the number games got to them until Zelina Vega eventually got herself involved, hitting Ford with one of her moves outside the ring. Wow, there's some intergender attacks there too. But which was not basically a basically it was not a disqualification because the referee was distracted. But then Rey Mysterio's mystery partner comes, and it's no other than Carlito, which we haven't seen since Carlito came in when Bad Bunny was feuding with Damian Priest. Carlito came out. Carlito, the Apple Man. I love this Apple Gibbs. But basically, he pulled a Roman Reigns coming out when everyone's down, and just shortly after that, after he comes out, I don't understand why people do that, unless it was orchestrated by Rey Mysterio, that sneaky Rey Mysterio guy, little 619 sneaky orchestrated that. Carlito pulling a Roman Reigns back in Payback 2020, coming out when everyone's done, and then hitting a finisher once they, um, shortly after hitting a backstabber on Ford for the pin. So Carlito pulling a 2020 Roman Reigns there, where Roman Reigns waited until the Fiend and Braun Strowman. That was a triple threat match for the Universal Championship. That's when the whole Bloodline started. Roman Reigns came out late with the contract and signed the contract late, coming out when when everyone was down, and then him hitting a spear. Basically, Carlito just pulled a Roman Reigns there, and then just hits the finisher when Ford stepped up. Yeah, no wonder this match got a C. But LWO with Carlito that just came late defeats the Street Profits by pinfall. What did you think of this match?
I think it was a great win for the LWO. And what I will comment on is the Street Profits, when they came out, they had really nice gear. They had a really nice. I like the way that they flowed together. They had a really nice outfit. That it was really nice design, and yeah, they definitely need a name, like you were talking about before in that previous video. Once they come up with their name and they got a uniform, they are looking good. They were looking really good. They were looking good, man. I gotta say, even though they were the formidable heel team, they were actually looking really good. And I like how they looked. They were really just destroying the LWO. But Carlito came out and did his thing and pulled a sneaky finisher on them, and of course they win. So that's a great win for them, a great win for. And Santos Escobar was playing pretty smart. You know, he was actually doing really well in the beginning, until they finally got him, and then he was overwhelmed. Solina de la Vega was doing her thing. She could have. I think in a way, she was a liability for them until like he found a way to put one of the moves on one of the wrestlers. But I really think having her out there is kind of a liability for to the OWO. But it's great that Carlito came and saved the day for them, so they got that win.
Yes. By the way, keeping up on my picks, so far I'm 0-2. I picked Judgment Day to win, which they lost, and plus I picked Street Profits and Bobby Lashley to win. So right now I am 0-2. Like you said, like I said, not looking good. As you can see, 0-2 so far.
Yeah,
Let's see if I'm
I
good.
believe I picked I picked the Judgment Day to win. Yeah, I picked the Judgment Day to win, but I actually lost that one. I believe I picked Rey Mysterio and
Okay,
LWO to
so I'm
win.
0-2.
I knew
You're
they were
0-1.
gonna,
Yeah.
yeah, unlike
But the
one
next
and
match,
two.
I don't believe these are the orders of when the match happened. I know like the John Cena match was earlier than this one, but we're here to talk about the WWE Women's Championship Triple Threat match. Now this was a great match. IYO Sky defending the title against Asuka and Charlotte Flair with a no disqualification rules. As you guys know, Triple Threat match, there's no disqualification. And basically, in the opening seconds of this, obviously Damage Control got involved in this match. But because of the no disqualification, Asuka misted Flair in the face in the opening seconds. So that was, this miss is crazy by Asuka all the time. But yeah, it went back and forth. It was pretty good. IYO Sky and Asuka started working together on Flair. Obviously, I guess they're sick of Flair getting opportunity after opportunity. It's like, fuck this bitch. Let's just double team her for a bit. I don't even know. But but yes, Bailey and Dakota Sky did get involved. I think it was just Bailey. Where at the end it was Charlotte Flair that locked Asuka in the figure eight, But Bailey, like always, distracted the referee. But Asuka did tap out. But if the referee did see that, Flair should be standing as the new women's championship because Asuka did tap out. It's just because Bailey distracted the referee. But IYO Sky out of nowhere on top of the top rope hits the finisher moonsault on Charlotte Flair, gets the pin. IYO Sky gets the win, retaining the title, defeating Charlotte Flair and Asuka by pinfall to retain the women's championship. What a match! And I got this match right, so I'm 1-2. So what did you think of this triple threat match?
I also got this match right. That it was IYO Sky that came up with a win. However, she didn't win cleanly because Bailey got involved. Bailey got involved, and Charlotte Flair should be the one that won the match. However, IYO Sky did win, and I was expecting her to win. I thought she did really well though. Without Bailey's assistance, she did really well. Um, Asuka did really well also. Asuka's really, Asuka's a really dangerous striker, right?
Yeah.
So Asuka was, putting in the work on both of them, as well as Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair was also putting the work on, being the taller woman. She was putting the work on both of these, on Asuka and Io. However, Io was pretty creative. Right? I liked her creativity. She was actually pretty smart, and I give her credit. She's a pretty good women's champion. She definitely has the heart, and I say congratulations to her. But Asuka and Bailey also did it. I mean, Charlotte and Asuka put up a good fight, so it was a great match.
Yeah, and I actually called that Bailey might turn her back on IYO Sky, but it might be a little early. I definitely see Bailey. Like I said, I do want to mention the press conference between in Damage Control. A reporter asked, "Have you guys ever like thought about facing each other in a match?" And Bailey said that, yeah, that'd be unbelievable. Book it. I mean, if there's a script that Bailey might turn on Damage Control and make that happen, do it. I love to see that. Bailey might, like I said, in the future, I think Bailey is gonna turn on IYO Sky, and she's gonna like, oh, um, you won't be standing WWE Women's Championship if it weren't for you, if it weren't for me, because I distracted the referee helping you win the championship. That's how it always goes. I want to see maybe, I don't know, it might be Bailey who turns on IYO Sky. I don't know about what's gonna
It,
happen with Dakota Kai, but that's just my prediction. But
it could be Dakota. It could be Dakota Sky, and maybe Io. Maybe Io would turn on Bailey. You never know. Uh, maybe you might see that. Maybe the Dakota Sky might turn on both of them. Might turn on Io, or maybe both of them might turn on her. So I don't know.
imagine a
So
triple threat. Imagine a Damage Control triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. IYO Sky versus Bailey versus Dakota Kai. Imagine that.
I mean that it's just the Judgment Day, man. They got you know Damian Priest with his money in the bank briefcase. That's going to cause friction. This championship, women's championship, is going to cause friction within Damage Control. It's going to make them break apart. That might happen. So
Yeah, but for, as long as EOS, as long in terms of EOS Guy's next challenger, it's still probably gonna be Charlotte Flair and Asuka because they'd probably be pissed off about Bailey getting involved, so they're probably gonna ask for a rematch. That's just my prediction. But moving on to the next match, John Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. It was a okay of a match. I was uncertain about this pick, but it turns out, talking about this match, it looks like John Cena took the fight early to Jimmy Uso, but then Solo Cola made Cena paid, and then Cena was getting his butt kicked for a while, I believe, until LA Knight came back, and then went back and forth basically. Um, Attitude adjustment on Solo. I believe it was on Solo. Yeah, Solo. And then basically, no, Cena tried to hit the attitude adjustment on Solo, and then Jimmy Uso kicked it off, and then basically Cena hit a five shuffle a five knuckle shuffle on Jimmy Uso floating above, which led to a BFT by night on Jimmy Uso to get the win. I was shocked. I actually thought the Bloodline was gonna win. I almost picked the Bloodline, but you know what? I said, "Fuck it." I don't think it's a good decision because the Bloodline always gets away with stuff. I don't think it's gonna get. This is what happened during my pick. I was like, I almost picked the Bloodline, but the Bloodline always get away with wins. But fuck it. I think for some odd reason, I think John Cena and LNA works well. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick John Cena and LA Knight. And thank God I was right. Yes, John Cena and LA Knight defeats the Bloodline by pinfall of a BFT by night on Jimmy Uso. So far I am 2-2 in picks. So what do you think of this match?
I also picked John Cena and LA Knight to win because I knew that they were going to win somehow, some way against the Bloodline. The Bloodline is going to obviously try to take them out, and they really went after John Cena. I watched the match; they were hammering him all night. They were working on him because he wasn't. He's not the same John Cena that he was 20 years ago, 10 years ago. He's not the same dominant guy. He's an older guy now. So, they really worked on him. They just isolated him. They made him really work to get the win. And, it was a good match. And I like that. This is a really good feud. You really build up LA Knight and John Cena's feud, and it's really fun to see this. I like this development.
All right. Moving on to the main event. Seth freaking Rollins. Here we go. Main event. This was by far the best match, most brutal match I've ever seen. Seth freaking Rollins in the last man standing match against Shinsuke Nakamura. This feud has gone to another level. Last man standing. But before this match happened, Damian Priest is pissed off he lost the titles. He said that this is the night. He's not going home empty-handed. It's like, oh boy, this is the night. But Rhea Ripley interfering, saying that Priest needed to wait and hold off on the night, which I'm like, man, this is gonna cause tension. So let's see if Damian Priest ignores her. I was like, let's see if Damian Priest ignores her and see if he does it and fails. But Damon Priest. But talking about this match, like I said, this was brutal. They were using candlesticks. They were using trash cans. They were using tables, ladders, announce tables, nutshots. It's one of those like things that you use to learn martial arts. I was like, of course, Shinsuke Nakamura is gonna grab that. Yeah, yes, he did target Seth Rollins back in this match. It was Nakamura went to a table while Rollins it was chaos. Rollins I think went into like 2 to 3 tables. Nakamura went into a table trying to hit Kinsaka, but Shinsuke Nakamura got Shinsuke went into the table first while Nakamura beat the count, and basically I think he drove Nakamura. Yeah, Nakamura went through an announce table, I believe. Like I said, I didn't watch the match. I know that Rollins went through like a table. It was a Shinskaka kick to Rollins to a table. Nakamura pushed Rollins off of a table. No, off of a ladder to a table. It was bloody. I think it was Shinsuke Nakamura's blood, and he like spit it in Seth Rollins' face, and then Seth Rollins fell back into an announce table. This match was just brutal. Seth Rollins hitting a pedigree, Triple H's pedigree on a table. Um, it was just chaos. Obviously, Nakamura, I don't even. He probably did. I only saw him targeting Rollins back like maybe like once in the highlights. It's probably you saw the whole full match. It's probably multiple times Nakamura targeted back, but the one time I saw it was targeted back was with the whatever you call that thing that martial arts uses. He did hit.
Candlestick.
He did hit Rollins in the back with it a couple times. Steel chair as well. That's the second time. And then basically Seth Rollins just injured his back more, hitting Shinsuke Nakamura with a I believe it was a Falcon arrow through a table, which does damage to your back, by the way. But the 10 count they started to count to 10. Nakamura was about to get on his feet, but then fell down. Seth Rollins was able to get on both feet. Seth Rollins, bloody. Well, he didn't get busted open. I think that's just from the blood spray by Shinsuke Nakamura. But close match. Nakamura barely gets his feet up, falls down. Seth, Seth freaking Rollins gets both feet up by the count of 10. Seth freaking Rollins retains the World Heavyweight Championship. I called it, man. I called it. Too early for him to drop the title. I called it, like, literally, but there you have it.
I know.
Seth freaking
I
Rollins,
know.
after a brutal match with Shinsuke Nakamura, bloody, just match of the night at Payback. What a match. Seth freaking Rollins, last man standing, defeating Shinsuke Nakamura to retain the title. Wow. No words. Like, I called it, but I know you and Joey called it opposite, but what are your thoughts on this amazing match? Just brutal. Like, wow.
It was. I saw the whole thing. It was a brutal match. It was a beat down. It was a in the trenches fight. There was a back and forth affair. It was, man. It was a slugfest. Um, Honestly, Shinsuke Nakamura should have won. He should have. He could have, and he would have won if he did the right thing. Um, he should have won this match. This was his second time, his second opportunity to win against Seth Rollins, and he failed. And he had the opportunity to turn himself around and become the new world heavyweight champion. However, it was not successful. And Seth Rollins should have dropped his title against Nakamura, because that man is putting himself through hell just to retain his title. And this is, I know this is what champions do. This man's got champion heart, and he fought and clawed his way through all that, through that slugfest, and came out on top. I never actually expected Seth Rollins to come out on top and win, because he's got an injured back, and that would have put any man out. Seth Rollins was attacked so many times in the match. It was Shinsuke's number one opportunity that he had to do. Shinsuke, was really good with the nunchucks. He uses nunchucks to attack not only his back, but also his legs and the back of his knee. Um, he did attack him with it. He attacked Seth with a steel chair. He attacked Seth with the kendo stick. Seth actually also attacked Shinsuke Nakamura too. He hit him in the back too with the kendo stick, and he hit him with a steel chair and a steel step. Sorry, so that weakened Shinsuke Nakamura. So it was a back and forth affair, really. I mean, honestly, right at the end, it was kind of ironic to me that Shinsuke Nakamura lost in the way he did, because him losing, it was ironic. It's highly ironic that Shinsuke Nakamura loses by countout, when he basically declared on SmackDown, was it Raw,
Raw.
that he's gonna win by countout, by counting to 10, and him losing means that him losing in this way is humiliating, and Seth Rollins humiliated Shinsuke Nakamura to show that he's a champion. You know, I think Shinsuke Nakamura should get out of here. He should get out of here, because it means that for him to lose in such a manner by count out is just crazy. So his strategy should have been to beat Seth Rollins so far away from the ring. All you have to do is walk back to the ring. And by the time Seth Rollins gets back to the ring by 10, he would have won. He would have won. But whatever. What else can you do? It is what it is. That's the way it goes. And now Seth Rollins needs to find a new challenger. I don't know who's going to be the one to take on Seth Rollins now. Who's going to be? Braun Breaker? I can see Braun Breaker taking on Seth Rollins.
Braun Breaker already faced Seth Rollins one-on-one at NXT, but I highly doubt it again. But I do want to mention that Nakamura come into this match with momentum, attacking Seth Rollins multiple times. But in my own general opinion, Seth Rollins took the most damage because I think Seth Rollins got attacked. He went into like, I know for a fact Seth Rollins went into like three goddamn tables. Like, that's insane. Plus, he was fighting with a bad back, yet he retained. That just take guts. Like, that guy's badass. But
Yes.
but
Yeah,
in terms,
he not only was hit, right, went through tables, but Nakamura also flipped him over. Seth Rollins actually lifted off the protective covering off the floor, and he was going to hit a pedigree. It was a moment in the match where he was going to do a pedigree on Nakamura. But then Nakamura flipped him over and he landed on his back on the concrete floor. That did some damage. And for him to get up and continue fighting even when he got hit the concrete floor, I mean, that takes a lot of willpower. I'll give Seth Rollins his respect. I give him the respect. He's got a lot of guts. He's got a lot of he's a warrior. He can fight, but at the same time, to go through that much damage, is something. He really enjoyed that win. I'll say he really enjoyed that win over Shinsuke Nakamura. But Shinsuke Nakamura did do a lot of damage to him, despite the immense damage that he took. So
yeah, and that's the thing though. I do want to take all of us just talking about all the way back to 2020. Drew McIntyre had an epic rivalry with no, what the hell? Drew McIntyre had an epic rivalry with Randy Orton. Randy Orton injured Drew McIntyre's jaw. So the jaw was so bad on Drew McIntyre, it was just he had to like had a surgery, not surgery, but get it fixed. And then after he came back, Randy Orton in their future matches targeted the jaw all the time. And later on, when their feud is over, many of the superstars that Drew McIntyre feud afterwards, the fact that he lost the title, a lot of superstars after Randy Orton did the same thing, targeting Drew McIntyre's jaw. So my question is, that is something Seth Rollins needs to look out for. The fact that possibly his feud with Shinsuke Nakamura might be over. Anyone in the future that he feud was might target his back. So in terms of who Seth Rollins is going to feud with, WWE had the bump. The bump is the after show. They had Samantha Irvin, which is the announcer. As you guys not know, Samantha Irvin and Ricochet are dating. They're like husband and wife. I think they're just boyfriend and girlfriend. But they had Seth Rollins and Ricochet talking about a potential match together. So there's a chance that Ricochet might be the next challenger. I don't know. There might be a feud between Seth Rollins and Ricochet. But I'm just saying, if that happens, Ricochet might target Seth Rollins in the back, like I said about the whole Drew McIntyre situation back in 2020. It might chance everyone might target Seth Rollins back moving forward. So, but my prediction is like I don't know who's going to be the next challenger, but Ricochet is a possibility. Yet they talked about showing respect to one another and saying that we got to talk to Adam Pearce about possibly a feud or something. But Ricochet might be a possibility. I don't know. There were rumors that Randy Orton was going to come back. Maybe sooner or later, if Randy Orton comes back, he's the one that's going to confront Seth Rollins. So we have to see.
yes, I definitely agree. Yes. Ricochet had this weird feud with Shinsuke Nakamura, which was never really explained why the feud happened. I mean, and then you have Ricochet coming in to save Seth for some reason. We don't know why he's involved. I don't know why he's involved, but yeah, I can see Ricochet feuding with Seth. That's an interesting mix right there. That's a good way to tie it in. Randy Orton's another good one. Braun Breaker, of course, now he's in WWE. He definitely could be a challenger to take on to feud with Seth. There's also I think Braun Strowman is on Raw.
No, he's not.
And we have some others.
He hasn't been on WWE television since like 2020, I believe.
Okay, then there is still.
But let me say this though, I have a gut feeling.
Brock
I
Lesnar.
have a gut
So
feeling that Shinsuke Nakamura might not be done with Seth Rollins. I have a strange feeling he's gonna attack Seth Rollins again on Raw. Like I feel like Rollins is gonna have a victory thing. Nakamura is just gonna sneak up again, and he's just butthurt it all the time. But I have a strange feeling Nakamura might not be done. It's just a thought, but I'm not even sure. There's nothing online about have them. There's nothing online saying that the two are done. So I have a gut feeling
Yeah,
Nakamura's not done with Seth Rollins, but we that's something we
I
can take a look.
I definitely think that maybe Nakamura might not be done with Rollins. I think just like Cody Rhodes, Nakamura wants to finish the story. He wants to finish the story. He wants the World Heavyweight Championship, and I don't blame him. There's always the saying, if you fail once, try again. So if he gets a third chance, he can't miss this chance. He has to take this opportunity of this advantage, and he really played with fire in that Fastlane. He was just too he was too he was just waiting for the count out, to count to 10 to win, when all you had to do was just pin him and win. That's all he had to do. Instead, he waited for the count out, and because he waited for the count out, that's what cost him the match. He waited for too long and if he had actually put in more work and done more damage, then he actually would have won, but he didn't do that, and that was his downfall. He underestimated Seth Rollins. So
All right, so that will do it, guys. 5 matches, not really a lot of matches, but it's whatever. I really thought it was an awesome show. In terms of grading, I'm just gonna go ahead. This was just unbelievable. For once, this is an actually good pay per view. People might say it's like, oh, fuck Seth Rollins, he's the worst champion. Should have won, but overall, I thought it was a great pay per view. Seeing Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, and it's like, oh, thank God. Maybe Judgment Day is over, but maybe Judgment Day is not, done. And then we got LWO getting a win, but overall, I think this was a great pay per view. So I am gonna go ahead and give Pat Fastlane 2023 an A minus. So what do you want to give it?
I'm gonna give this Fastlane an A+. I definitely had some people telling me that he thought that Seth Rollins winning was annoying. So I had somebody that actually thought that Seth Rollins should drop the title to Shinsuke Nakamura, and he thought that Seth Rollins winning is annoying. And some people may see it that way, but the match went the way the match went. So we're gonna have to see how things turn out, and I'll see if Shinsuke Nakamura is still gonna go after Seth Rollins, and maybe he's gonna go after another opponent. We'll see how things go with that. Um, yeah, I'll give that an A- grading. It was a great match. Some unexpected wins. Um, so it was great seeing Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes win. I'd love to see how Cody's gonna finish his story now. So this is gonna be interesting.
All right, so that would do it for Fastlane 2023. I'm Bruin Steel. Thank you guys for watching, and I want to give you guys a heads up that Crown Jewel is going to be the next pay per view, which is going to take place in Saudi Arabia. It's going to take place November 4th, so that's going to be the next pay per view. It's rumored that Roman Reigns is going to defend the title against John Cena in a rematch, but we have to see what happens. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but the next pay per view is going to be Crown Jewel, November 4th. Be sure to stream it on Peacock or wherever you guys watch your WWE stuff. But that's the next pay per view. But Fastlane 2023 is over. I'm Bruin Steel, your host. Thank you guys for watching. And me and Canadian Yorker will be back to recap this Monday night on Raw. So anything you got a last second thoughts that you have to say?
I believe I'd like to see LA Knight feud with Roman Reigns, not John Cena. John Cena's already faced him many times, so I'd like to see that. We're going to see how that develops, and it's going to be an interesting turnout with that. And yeah, I can't wait for Crown Jewel. And just in November.
All right.
So
Thank you guys for watching, and we are out.